I go from zero to $30,000 with my AI products live on this channel. Let's talk about some of the solutions inside one prompt. There are two main AI text-based agents inside, like the fully conversational ones. This is an Omni-Channel agent as well as the prospect enrichment. And the difference is that Omni-Channel is more like for the inbound, right? So if we go here, and let me actually open a few of them. If you've been following, you can see that there are much more automations, and I'll explain that when it comes to, production version, things, when you're like developing something for a company, it really sometimes become much more complex. That's why there is a problem with the AI industry for now. What I see is not like a problem. It's more like when people, it's an obstacle when people are trying to sell something they pitch, right? And then they expect it to be finished fast, but then they realize that there's much more work involved on the management side. Because, so again, so let's talk specifically now. This is the agent that is, simply receiving replies from multiple channels, then processing them, and again, so let's keep grouping and then sending the reply. Okay. And you would say, okay, so what's the problem here, right? So it's pretty straightforward. You receive a reply from like one of these channels, right? Then you process it, and then you are kind of, sending them somewhere. You're, generating the reply, right? The complexity starts when we are trying to receive multiple messages, and this is why it's different, right? Again, so my viewers know what I'm talking about. It's essentially when you talk with someone, right, with a human, you are not, so let's say you're here, you're asking, hey, I have a question. How much does it cost? Like, it's multiple messages. So, and the agent, like usually 99.999, like 100% of the agents will reply to only this right away. You can even configure the delay for like 10 seconds and then reply, but they'll still reply to this. Now, so in order to do that, yeah, so like, it adds the complexity because you need to have a delay, and the way we configure this inside one prompt is that we are like verifying, okay, so if this DM through the custom fields, right? So each contact, if you go here, has a custom field, right? And there are a lot of the custom fields. So let's see the folders, right? So and there are like folders for the custom fields for different solutions. And if we go to the Omni-Channel, as you can see, there's DM1, DM2, DM3, DM4, DM5 message. So it's different fields. So essentially when like someone is sending the message, it saves them in the DM1. Then if it's like the second message, first, okay, DM1, second message is sent, we are saying, and we are verifying, okay, if this is already empty or not. If it's not empty, then go to the DM2. Anyway, so this does add complexity, but this is not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the actual like production version, because like for example, like you would need to track the progress, A. B, you would want to have a pipeline stages, and C, you would want to have a human transfer, as well as a way for you to stop the bot, right? Which again, so it seems like okay, and this is like even some of like our clients do not understand it. Like, okay, sure, like integrated, so what? Because this thing will like talk to them infinitely. And at some point of time, especially if it's the setter, maybe if it's the customer support agent, okay. But if it's like the setter related to sales and we need to push the call to actions, like we need to like finish at some point and then either transfer to the human or book something somewhere and then have it as a context for the agent. And the way we do it here is in the I believe it's, yeah, so it's here. It's essentially it's verifying. First, it's verifying for the tag Omni-Channel agent. It's more for the testing purposes because I said that there are similar solutions. So Omni-Channel as well as the engagement agent, right? They are very similar, right? So so the engagement agent, they are very similar because they both receive replies. But the difference is that the engagement agent is first triggered when some action is happening. It's either form submit or the calendar booking. So in this case, it's just form submit. So when someone submit the form, we're researching the prospect, we're generating the reply, and okay, yeah, I can go in details. Not sure if I want to do this for this video, and then we're like sending the WhatsApp now. But then, like, still, once the WhatsApp is sent, it seems like it's in outbound. That's it, right? But when someone respond, now this becomes an inbound, and we have two separate agents. So, for example, one for the engagement agent, right? So here, so we have inside voice flow, right? So we have one agent, and inside Omni-Channel we have another agent. Again, like in a nutshell, like they look like different, identical, just because this is made for like demo purposes, and this is how it's going to be in the license. Like once someone acquires the license, they'll get access to this, because this is like the template that you can use to add like more things to it, and that's why there is an education link, of course. What I'm saying is that they are different, so we cannot use, because we could, and this is what I was thinking initially, to just like use this, right? Because this is the received DMs, and once we send the reply, right? So once we engaged with the prospect through the like WhatsApp outbound DM, like, hey, got your form submit X, Y, and Z. After that, we can like receive and just talk. But now the problem is that what if we have different agents? For the different agents, it's easier, and this is again one of the options that I could do is here, when we are generating the reply within the voice cell and then identify what the channel is, we can do the same type of the routing in terms of, okay, like, so here, once we are sending the WhatsApp, we are adding the tag, adding to the pipeline, and adding the customer engagement tag as well as the voice launch. So we can technically check for the tag, and if the tag is engagement, we can like send it to the different flow with a different type of the API request, right, to the different agent. But one of the problems here is it's going to be like harder to manage the whole pipeline, and then harder to manage the human handoff. One of the things that we added, and again, like we have it obviously in all of the production versions, that's why it's taking like so long, because like if I would just upload everything that we did for our clients, it's going to be harder to navigate, and there are like a lot of the different context fields which are not necessary. So, and this, by the way, one of the ways that I really need to clarify for people on the webinar and then on my VSL and everywhere is that yes, it is production ready. It means that but it's not like you sign up and then you sell it, like, because so even if you go to the voice, you need to customize the messages, you need to customize not only the knowledge base but some of the parameters where you like specify this type of the thing. So there is some customizations needed. It's not the software. And that's why, by the way, one of the things that I was thinking yesterday is that I started to call it software. It's my SaaS school. It sounds nice, but I think this is wrong positioning. It's like a suite, right? And this is the best word to explain. Like, it's a hub, but hub is more like everything together. Maybe hub, but I don't like the word hub. It's more like a synonym. The great explanation is the suite, right? Because a suite of production ready like solutions, as well as educational materials, as well as the support, right? So it's everything in one suite together, like in one room. And that's why like it's not a SaaS where you just do something. And I think I need to make it clear for everyone. Okay, so one of the things that I added like for this specific agents that we are going to use in the production within the licensing is the human handoff trigger, right? Through like voice flow, through the like a trigger. We don't usually use this type of the triggers, but here it's like it's very straightforward. So once someone wants to talk to the human and not like talk to someone, so I've been kind of specifying the intent with a lot of the parameters and like the description, just to make sure, because people would want to say, especially when they send a message, get a reply, whatever, get the follow-up, and then in like a few days they say, okay, I want to talk to someone, and we don't want to route this person to the agent, just because they just want to talk and we're pretending that we're a real human rep. So we want to route the people only after they actually say human rep or a real person or something like that. So yeah, and once the prospect is taking this route, we are sending the API request again. So like think about it, like this route through the API, because we are sending the API request here, right? So, and if we receive back, right, this thing, so we are displaying this, that no worries, let me connect you to someone, and then we are triggering the webhook. In this webhook is triggering the transfer to human. There are two different flows, the stop bot and transfer to human. So the transfer to human is actually, transfer to human. So it's checking for the contact, but obviously the contact is there. And this is so I mean, I'm not sure why I could go here like in depth, because it's gonna be in the course anyways. So but for those who are curious, like, because when we start right here, so the first reply is the start, we initiate the conversation with voice flow. Sorry, I don't want to open it to like my API key, and we're initiating it through the ID at the endpoint, right? So the voice flow endpoint. In the endpoint, we provide like the ID of the user, and the ID of the user, we are actually using the contact ID from one prompt. So since we are using the contact ID, we can pass it back, right? So we are passing the user ID back, because this is the variable that is automatically created when the new conversation with voice flow is created, and this is not something. So like we can reference it anywhere, and this user ID will be essentially a contact ID from one prompt, and then we're like trying to find this person. Where is it? Okay. Where is it? I lost it. Okay, let me close. See guys, there's so I think I went it back. So there are so many like automations, and you need to like navigate through them. So yeah, the course, I need to make sure that the course is pretty clear. And here we are trying to find the tag based on the inbound webhook parameter that we passed here through the user ID, and then we are so adding the tag and then assigning the user, updating the opportunity. This is the second thing that I want to talk about, and then assigning the task. So, and now, since we have the stop bot tag, none of the agents will run, none of them. None of them will be triggered. Another thing, for example, to consider is to have, it's for you as well as for the client, is to have a dashboard as well as the pipeline. Now, so this could be, controversial, and there are a lot of the variables to consider, because there are softwares that allow you to view the dashboard properly, right? So, for example, like the chat dash that we're using for the front end sometimes for our bots, right? Or VoiceGlow, Tixai, I'm not sure why it's not loading. So the idea is that there we can manage conversations, and then we can also manage the analytics, how many conversations has happened and stuff like that. Now, I do believe that you will still need it, because like for example here, it's hard to track. You cannot track exactly how many conversations has happened. You can, okay? You can, we built one dashboard, but it's like it was super complex, and I don't think that I want to provide it with the license, or like it's gonna be super complex. Maybe I'll gather the feedback, so maybe this will be one of the updates.
So to do a more comprehensive dashboard, like because you need to trigger the webhooks on each conversation started, and then you you will store it somewhere, and you maybe will create the contacts here. So it's it's a complex thing, but it's possible. In reality, you would just use something like Chatdash as a front end or Tixai, and then you'll also manage the conversations here, right? So you will have the pipeline that you can like provide, because if you ideally you create this sub account for like each of your client, you'll provide the pipeline as well as the dashboard. And the dashboard is like for this specific use case, I've just assembled it how in general terms how we set it up, but there are so many things that can be so see total bot conversation started, and this is like how many conversations did the bot reply to. So live chat conversations, WhatsApp, Instagram, SMS, email, and then we have the conversations per week. We have this like the by the channel, and we also have the overtime. So how many conversations have been started each day, so that we can track these things. Yeah, guys, so this is kind of this I was about to say that there's so many things to consider when you are deploying the real production version agents, and sometimes in order to understand this you need to go through the project, and obviously it's more about the scoping, so how good you can like scope the project out, but also because it's very new. And the chatbots, I don't like the word chatbots, but again, chatbots can be different, right? So they can be inbound, outbound, sales, nurturing, the kind of engagement. So depending on the solution, clients are still like sometimes not sure what they want. Actually, by the way, we are talking with one of the guys. They own a crypto platform, and it's super weird. And by the way, I'm planning to post the recording in my main channel with this, like the sales recording with this client. They don't know what they want, and if we're gonna take the project eventually, I'm pretty sure they'll say, yeah, Eugene, like this is what we also want, or we want like some more things or stuff like that. So you need to be flexible, and that's why this I would say one prompt will be the suite will be like pretty good solid point. I'm not saying that it's gonna do everything for everyone. Obviously not, and I don't want to target anyone. So but it's gonna like provide the most like common use cases and the easy to sell or easy to implement use cases. One of the other things, since as you can see this is more of a technical video, I'm not going to mention the pricing. Probably going to do the last video before the launch, because the launch is in 5 days. Yeah, and so I will have one more video, and by the way, there is one more video that should be posted on the day of the launch if I post every 2 days. So we'll see. Maybe one, like I would love to have 2 more videos, and the Tuesday will be like, actually, hey, like today is the webinar, like let's see how it goes. I'm probably gonna go with $79. Sorry guys, for everyone been following me, I've been like from one timer to yearly to monthly to the yearly, then to whatever. Yeah, I think this is the best thing. Like I for now, we'll see what I will think in 2 days, but for now, that's so weird because every video I'm like sticking with a new price, but I think this will be the thing. I do think so. We'll see. I actually sent the first newsletter for my, for the webinar subscribers, aka waitlist, aka white birds, early birds, and there I have a like. So I was explaining like 6 solutions they get access to, as well as at the end I would have a poll where I was asking, hey, what do you think it's gonna cost? And I'm curious to see what people think it's gonna cost. Maybe this will influence the decision. I said like, if you make it right, you'll win like a small price. I'm not sure what the price is. Maybe we'll say, yeah, I'll answer any of your questions regarding personally, like through the DMs about the platform. Anyways, so we'll see, because there, the last time I was checking, it was, and by the way, you don't see my screen, so let me update it. Oh, okay, so we have 13 because the last time it was 10 submits, so we have 13. Let me actually make a screenshot, which is really interesting stats because this is kind of what people are expecting. Obviously, this is not what they are ready to pay money for, but it's more like because I provided the value there, so in terms, I really explained on the technical side. So as you can see, there are a lot of people. So most of them were like here, thought that it's $3,500, which is, see, this is what I was talking about, like the one time. So this is like a really good value, and I still believe that it is. But see, this is like what maybe most of them think, whatever. So but like here again, so it's either one time, monthly, so no one is gonna understand yearly, right? So, and this is a really good point, by the way, because the last time of this recording I was kind of, hey, let's do 2000 yearly, but see, since no one is picking this option, it means that it's harder to understand the value for it, right, for the people. So it's a really good thing that I did. Good job. But I would say that I'm still considering what the one timer. I still do, because like to have 6 people for this offer per month, and make 20 grand. Yeah, I do still I do still consider it, but yeah, I'm not sure. Anyways, thanks guys for watching. Let me know, please post the comments. I need to boost this channel, so I will answer anything. Yeah, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Peace.